Hey folks, we're live tonight at Waz Nursery in Farr. It is cold out here. We're protected from the north wind, and there's a cover over us. It's a bit of a greenhouse out here, and they're doing things here just like all folks are doing across the valley to get their plants ready for this cold night tonight. Let me show you a couple of things they've done here. Back here we've got two young citrus trees. This is a young navel orange, and look at what they've done just to keep the temperature of the tree 2 or 3 degrees warmer. They put a string of Christmas lights around it. You just took your lights down and put them in the attic, right? Bring them back down. If you've got a young citrus tree in the yard, wrap the lights around it. That may give it the degree or two it takes to keep it warm. Look at this one. They've wrapped it in an old sheet. It's even got some paint on it. I've got a couple of those in my garage right now. They wrapped it really well. If you do this, don't use plastic, because plastic conducts that cold right through and it burns the leaves. You want to use a sheet or some cotton material or something like that to keep that plant warm. One other thing, if you can't cover anything else, at the bottom of these guys, right down here, there's an elbow. That's where the graft is. If you can just wrap that graft, if nothing else, and keep that warm, well, you might lose the leaves in the top part of the tree. You'll keep the bottom, and the tree will stay alive, and it'll come back, and you'll be in pretty good shape. So just a couple of tips from the folks here at Waz, just to keep your plants safe during this cold, cold night across the valley. Let's look at where we are right now, temperature-wise, and it already is cold, and it's going to go down from here. These are the currents. 35 right now in Harlingen, awfully close to freezing already. 36 in Port Isabel. Even close to the coast, it's cold, while it's still 41 in McAllen and 41 in Rio Grande City. Look at the rest of Texas, and it's pretty chilly everywhere, but a sign that this air mass is bottoming out. It's 31 in San Antonio, just a little colder than here, and a little wider than that. You look at North Texas, and it's cold, but not dramatically colder anymore. Readings in the Panhandle, yes, 15, but Dallas is 22. You know, one of the benchmarks we used to look at is if Amarillo would go to 0, we would probably freeze. They're going to get pretty close to 0 tonight. It's going to be in the ballpark for Amarillo, so we watch that just as kind of a rule of thumb. For us, our lows tonight, let's take a close look. Here's what we expect. And again, most places probably won't get here until midnight or after. You're looking at 26 to 27 across Starr County. That's cold, mostly out in the ranch country. Now you move eastward, look at Hidalgo County, and you're looking at probably 29, 30, 31 across most areas, and again, that's cold. That's the kind of stuff you need to protect your plants in, and of course, bring your pets indoors as well. And then eastern part of the valley, Los Fresnos, right at freezing. Port Mansfield about 34, Raymondville 29, Harlingen below freezing at 30. Brownsville, you're right on the cusp. I'd prepare anyway, even if we're forecasting 33. If we're one off, you got a problem. The island, that's the one place that should stay well above freezing at about 39 degrees tonight, although that is certainly cold enough. Now, the trick tonight is, will these clouds clear? Satellite, this is an infrared satellite, so we lose the cloud cover as it gets to darkness, but there's still clouds out there. You barely see them, but everything indicates by about midnight those clouds are going to start to erode from west to east, and we're going to clear out. And that's what's going to allow these cold temperatures to set in. A little bit of radiational cooling. It's a little, if it wasn't so windy, it would get even colder, but this wind will help mix the temperatures a little bit, but still, you watch Future Track, and look what it does. It takes temperatures down around freezing by tomorrow morning, and that's midnight. Again, 35. There you are tomorrow morning. This is a computer model. It's a little warmer than what we're actually forecasting, but you're still looking at 31 across a lot of the region. So it will be cold tonight. During the daytime tomorrow, we bounce back up into the 40s. So the next question is, what about tomorrow night? Because tomorrow, it'll be mainly clear. The wind will go away. And by midnight, we're back in the mid-30s again, but without the wind. And by Sunday morning, very close to freezing. Some clouds may begin to build back in by then. That could save us a little bit. But again, I think tomorrow night, frost may be the issue across much of the area, because there won't be as much wind, and we can certainly see frost with temperatures in the mid-30s. Now, here's a cloud cover image as we go through the future. This is Future Track. And watch what happens. It shows those clouds really thinning out big time by midnight tonight. And when that happens, that's when temperatures will likely drop. It might go down a couple of degrees at a time, but then bottom out of those numbers we showed you. That will provide for a sunny but cold day tomorrow. Then we see sunshine most of the day. Clouds kind of hang in along the coast, and then tomorrow night some of those clouds work their way back in, and Sunday we end up partly sunny. Cold to start with, but partly sunny during the day. Things warm back up pretty quickly after that. So here is your outlook for the next 3 days. We're going to look at this, and then we're going to jump right to the forecast. A high tomorrow, 50, then 57 on Sunday, and look how quickly we recover. 72 degrees on Monday, and after that we're back in the 80s. once again. So let's jump ahead. Here we go for tonight. Again, a freeze warning in effect as well as a wind chill advisory. Your average low tonight, 29 degrees. If that comes to fruition, if we get down to 29, and that's an average, if we do that in Weslaco, that'll be the coldest night in almost 3 years. Last time we got that cold was January 29th, 2014. 50 for a high tomorrow, mostly sunny and chilly. We may have to work hard to get to 50, but at least the sun will be out. So here you go, 50 tomorrow, back down to 32 tomorrow night, so very near freezing again. Back to 57 on Sunday. Then look at next week. Look how quickly we bounce back. Temperatures in the 80s starting on Tuesday and staying that way for the rest of the week. So again, the important points, we have a freeze warning and a wind chill advisory. Again, we're protected from the wind here. If we're on the other side of the building, I'd have the hood on and the hat on and everything else because it's even colder over there just because of the wind. It feels much colder. So just protect yourself, protect your plants, protect your pets, and it might not even hurt to leave a little drip in your faucets tonight just so that your pipes don't freeze, just in case you got one of those exposed sources of water coming from the outside. That's the latest from FAR. Tim Smith, Channel 5 News at 6.